Some homes have everything: beautiful furniture, polished floors, even the latest appliances. Yet the feeling of abundance never quite settles in. The money comes, but somehow it slips away. It's not always about how much you earn. Sometimes it's about the energy in your space and what you invite to stay. Right now, there may be quiet corners of your home that are unknowingly letting prosperity drift out the door. The truth is, certain plants can do more than freshen the air or brighten a shelf. When placed intentionally, they can act like silent gatekeepers, holding your fortune close and creating an invisible current that draws more in. Imagine walking through your front door and feeling a calm assurance that your home isn't just a shelter. It's working with you, quietly strengthening your finances, opportunities, and peace of mind. This isn't magic in the fairy tale sense. It's the simple but powerful way living things interact with the spaces we live in. Over years of observation, some plants have earned a reputation for not only surviving indoors, but thriving in ways that mirror the kind of life we want: steady, abundant, and resilient. These are not fussy, high-maintenance showpieces. They are living symbols of wealth that work for you around the clock. Place them right, care for them well, and you create more than decor. You create a living statement that wealth belongs here. Today, you'll discover 6 plants that go beyond decoration. Each one has its own way of locking in the good, filtering out the bad, and helping you grow not just your bank account, but a life that feels rich from the inside out. By the time you know them, you'll start to see your home differently, not as a backdrop, but as an active partner in keeping you wealthy and thriving. Are you ready to meet them? Part 1: The Silent Treasurer. Money Tree. You've probably seen it in someone's office or sitting near the entryway of a successful boutique. The plant with a thick, braided trunk and a crown of glossy green leaves reaching upward, as if pulling something unseen from the air. That's the money tree, and it's far more than a pretty plant for people who like greenery. It has a reputation for quietly guarding and growing what you work so hard to earn. Think about the way money moves through your life. Paychecks come in, bills go out, emergencies pop up, and sometimes it feels like there's a slow leak you can't quite find. The money tree is often placed where financial energy enters a space, like a silent treasurer at the front door, because it's believed to help lock in resources. The braided trunk isn't just decorative. It symbolizes different income streams woven tightly together, preventing them from slipping away. For someone who has worked years to build stability, that's not just appealing, it's essential. In American homes, especially where every square foot counts, placement matters. The southeast corner of your living room or home office is often chosen because it's a spot where you naturally notice the plant, a daily reminder of your intention to keep and grow your wealth. Near a desk, it can serve as a quiet partner in decision-making, encouraging you to think long-term rather than chasing short-term wins. This is not about superstition for the sake of it. It's about anchoring a mindset. The money tree works best when it's healthy and vibrant. Neglected leaves and dry soil send the wrong message, to yourself most of all. If you let it wither, it's a visual cue of decline, and that can subtly influence the way you handle money. But when you care for it consistently, you're building a habit of attention and responsibility, the same habits that keep a bank account strong. Imagine this: every time you water it, you pause for a breath, look at its sturdy trunk and think, "I keep what's mine, I grow what I have." Over weeks and months, this repeated act plants the idea deep into your habits. You start questioning unnecessary purchases. You spot better opportunities. You become more deliberate about the flow of your resources. That's the quiet magic of the money tree. It trains you, without words, to be the kind of person who keeps wealth close and lets it expand. The money tree also pairs well with objects that mean something to you, like a framed note from a client, a photo from a milestone trip, or a symbol of a personal win. Together, they create a corner in your home that tells a story. This is where prosperity lives. This is where it's protected. And because it's alive, the plant is constantly growing, changing, and responding to your care, reinforcing the idea that wealth is not static. It's a living thing that needs attention. For families, placing a money tree near the main entrance can also act as a subtle signal to visitors. This is a home that values what it has, a home where abundance isn't taken for granted. If you've ever walked into a space that just felt prosperous, without anyone bragging about it, there's a good chance the layout and details, including living plants, were chosen with intention. And here's the truth. In a culture where so much focus is on making more, we often forget the power of keeping more. The money tree is a physical reminder that wealth isn't just about what you pull in. It's about what you protect, what you nurture, and what you refuse to let slip away. Its role in your home is quiet, yes, but it's constant, like a trusted friend who doesn't speak much but is always in your corner. Once you have one in place, you'll notice small shifts. The way you feel when you enter the room, the calm that comes from seeing it thriving, and maybe even the way your finances begin to feel less like a roller coaster and more like a steady climb. So when you bring a money tree into your home, don't just set it down and forget about it. Choose its spot with the same care you'd choose where to keep your valuables. Give it light, give it water, and give it the role of standing guard over your financial life. Over time, it may become one of the most valuable investments you've ever made, not because of what it costs, but because of the wealth it helps you hold onto. And in a world where money moves fast, having a silent treasurer rooted in your space might just be the smartest decision you make this year. Part 2: The Smart Flow, Lucky Bamboo. You've probably walked into a home or an office and seen a cluster of slender green stalks, bound neatly, rising straight up in a glass vase of clear water and smooth white stones. There's something instantly calming about it, clean, minimal, and full of life. That's lucky bamboo, and while it may look delicate, it's one of the strongest symbols of smart, adaptable growth you can bring into your space. In a world where money and opportunities don't flow in a straight line, lucky bamboo represents the art of moving forward without breaking, of finding a way even when the path changes. Its hollow stems aren't a flaw, they are the secret. They allow energy to move through freely, just like a business person who stays open to new ideas or an investor who knows when to shift strategy. Too rigid and you snap, too loose and you drift. Lucky bamboo lives in that rare space of balance, flexible enough to bend, strong enough to rise again. In the home, it works best where movement and exchange happen every day. The living room where family energy circulates, the entryway where guests come and go, or even a workspace where decisions shape your future. Near a register or safe, it's said to guide financial energy in the right direction, smoothing the bumps that can derail progress. But the real value isn't just in where you put it, it's in what it reminds you of daily. Every time you see those stems in water, you're reminded that growth happens when you stay open. Closed minds miss opportunities. Open minds catch them before they pass. And in a culture where hustle often means burning out, lucky bamboo's quiet message is powerful. Grow steadily, don't force it, let success flow to you and through you. Caring for lucky bamboo is refreshingly simple: clean water, bright but indirect light, and an occasional trim. But don't mistake easy for unimportant. Neglect it and the leaves will fade. The water will cloud, and what once felt fresh will feel stagnant. Keep it clean and healthy, and it becomes a living example of what it takes to keep any flow, money, health, relationships moving in the right direction. Many people place white stones at the base, not just for looks, but because they reflect light, giving the whole arrangement a sense of clarity and purity. In financial terms, think of it as keeping your books transparent and your intentions clear. When you see the light bounce off the stones and water, it's a visual reminder. Keep your dealings clean, keep your path open, and the right opportunities will find you. One of the most compelling qualities of lucky bamboo is how it thrives in water. It doesn't demand rich soil or constant attention. It simply needs a clean environment and space to grow. There's a lesson in that for anyone building wealth. You don't always need more resources. Sometimes you just need the right conditions and the discipline to maintain them. In moments when life feels clogged, too many bills, too many demands, too much noise, lucky bamboo stands as proof that clarity is a choice. Clear the water, trim away what's yellowed, make space for new shoots, and watch the flow return. Over time, you may notice subtle changes in your mindset. You become less reactive, more deliberate. You start making decisions from a place of calm confidence rather than urgency. And that shift, being able to pause, breathe, and choose your moves, can be the difference between a financial life that feels like a series of quick wins and losses, and one that builds quietly, steadily into real wealth. In the right spot, lucky bamboo isn't just decor, it's a compass. It points you toward flexibility without weakness, growth without chaos, and success without burnout. And for many, that makes it one of the smartest, simplest investments you can make in your space and in yourself. Because when the flow of energy in your home is smooth, the flow of opportunity in your life often follows. And that's not luck. It's the result of creating the right conditions for prosperity to move exactly where it belongs, toward you. Part 3: The Patient Treasury, Jade Plant. You might not notice it at first glance. A small pot on a windowsill, a cluster of thick, rounded leaves catching the light. The jade plant doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't bloom with flashy colors or grow in a rush. Instead, it sits, steady and unbothered, building its strength leaf by leaf, season by season. That's exactly why it's earned a place as one of the most respected symbols of long-term prosperity. It grows the way true wealth should, slow, steady, and impossible to shake once established. In a world obsessed with quick wins, the jade plant is a quiet rebellion. Its coin-shaped leaves are thick and full, each one like a small savings account, firm, consistent, holding value over time. You can't rush it. You can't force it to grow faster by overwatering or overfeeding. In fact, impatience will harm it. The same is true of any serious financial goal. Building wealth that lasts means respecting the pace of growth, adding to it bit by bit, and protecting it from unnecessary risk. Placing a jade plant where you see it often, on the left-hand side of your desk as you sit, or on an east or southeast-facing windowsill, turns it into more than just a plant. It becomes a subtle reminder every single day that patience pays. In the morning light, its deep green leaves look rich and alive, a living metaphor for a portfolio or business that's healthy, balanced, and built to endure. Caring for it is simple, but it rewards attention. It doesn't need daily watering. In fact, it prefers you to let the soil dry slightly between drinks. That restraint is a lesson in itself. Don't pour out your resources without thought. Give it what it needs, then step back and let it do the rest. Neglect it completely and the leaves will wrinkle, shrivel, and drop. Overindulge it and the roots will rot. The balance it demands is the balance your finances need. Enough fuel to grow, enough discipline to avoid waste. Many who keep jade plants talk about the almost meditative moment of tending to it, checking the firmness of the leaves, feeling their smooth surface, and knowing that each new leaf is proof of steady progress. Imagine linking that care to your own habits, reviewing your accounts with the same calm presence, making choices that protect rather than gamble with what you've built. The jade plant's slow, deliberate growth has another advantage. It's resilient. It won't collapse under a week of neglect, and it can recover from setbacks if given time. Financially, that's the kind of foundation you want, one that can withstand a bad month, a market dip, or an unexpected bill without unraveling everything. This plant thrives in bright light, but not under the punishing midday sun. Again, a reminder that too much intensity, even in pursuit of growth, can burn you out. The jade plant also fits seamlessly into American homes where space is valuable and every item is chosen for both beauty and meaning. In a modern office, it's a touch of life among metal and screens. In a kitchen, it's a steady green presence near the morning coffee ritual. It doesn't need to dominate a room to influence it. It works quietly, influencing the mindset of those who live with it. Over time, you may notice changes in yourself if you keep one. Maybe you stop chasing every new opportunity and start nurturing the ones you already have. Maybe you save more consistently, invest more carefully, or simply feel calmer about money. That's the subtle power of surrounding yourself with symbols that reinforce your values. They shift your actions without the constant need for willpower. The jade plant won't hand you wealth overnight, but if you let it, it will teach you how wealth actually works. It's not about sudden windfalls. It's about steady deposits, thoughtful management, and the discipline to leave it alone long enough to grow. And when you see it thriving year after year, you'll understand why it's been called the plant of enduring fortune. It's not there to impress guests with how fast it grows. It's there to remind you that real prosperity isn't a sprint, it's a lifelong climb. And with the jade plant at your side, you'll have a constant, living reminder to keep climbing. Part 4: The elegance of complete wealth. Orchid. There's a certain kind of wealth that can't be measured in numbers alone. The kind you can feel in the way a space holds you, in the way your mind quiets and your shoulders drop the moment you enter. That's the kind of wealth an orchid represents. It doesn't clamor for your attention or try to outshine everything else in the room. It stands there with quiet confidence, its petals curved like a gentle smile, radiating a presence that says, "I belong here." In a culture that often pushes us to chase bigger, faster, and more, an orchid is a reminder that true abundance is as much about how you feel in your life as it is about what you own. The orchid is not a plant you ignore and expect to thrive. It asks for attention, not constant but mindful. The right light, the right amount of water, the right environment. Neglect it and its blooms fade. Care for it with intention, and it rewards you with blossoms that seem almost unreal in their perfection. That's the heart of complete wealth, the blend of material comfort and emotional richness, cultivated with care over time. When placed in a living room, it becomes a centerpiece without shouting for it. In a bedroom, it brings an intimacy that money alone can't buy. In a creative space, it fuels inspiration simply by existing. Every glance at an orchid is a pause, a break from the noise to remember that prosperity is not just about accumulation, but about refinement, balance, and joy. Think about the difference between being rich and living richly. One can happen overnight. The other takes years of building not just assets, but a life that feels worth living. The orchid belongs to the second category. Its presence in a room changes the tone, inviting conversation to slow, encouraging people to linger, subtly lifting the energy. For those in creative fields or in any role where vision and clarity matter, the orchid is a quiet ally. It doesn't push, it inspires. It reminds you that the best work often comes when you're not forcing it, but when you're fully present and engaged with what's in front of you. In your home, an orchid can become more than decoration. It's a teacher in patience, a mirror for how you care for what matters most. Its beauty is fleeting if ignored, but enduring when nurtured. That's the lesson of complete wealth. It's not about how much you can pile up, but about what you can sustain and keep beautiful over the long term. In a world where the loudest winds often get the most attention, the orchid is proof that elegance, grace, and quiet confidence are their own form of power. Place one where you can see it every day and let it remind you. The richest life is the one that feels whole, inside and out. Part 5: The Prosperity Gatekeeper, Jade Plant. You can feel it the moment you walk in. A home that holds on to its prosperity has a certain presence, a quiet confidence. It's not about extravagant displays or cluttered shelves of lucky charms. It's about the subtle, deliberate choices that tell wealth to stay. The Jade Plant is one of those choices. With its deep green, waxy leaves rising in perfect symmetry from thick, sturdy stems, it stands like a guard on duty 24/7. It doesn't just decorate a corner, it claims it. It says to anything entering, whether it's opportunity or energy, if you're not here to grow, you don't belong. In the American home, where every inch of space competes for a purpose, the ZZ plant earns its spot by being both beautiful and strategic. Placed near the front door, it becomes the first and last thing that interacts with the flow of your day. Each time you leave, it's a silent reminder to carry yourself with intention. Each time you return, it's there to greet you, holding the energy steady so the chaos of the outside world doesn't spill into your sanctuary. The plant's resilience is legendary. It thrives on low light, forgives missed waterings, and still manages to look polished and alive year-round. That's more than convenience. It's a symbol of financial durability. In the same way your savings should withstand a few rough months without collapse, the ZZ plant can weather neglect and bounce back without losing its structure. Its leaves are plump, storing moisture like a savings account stores security. They reflect light in a way that draws your eye upward, giving a sense of expansion and vitality, the visual language of abundance. When you choose a ZZ plant, you're choosing a partner in consistency. It doesn't require constant fuss, but it does reward thoughtful attention. Wipe its leaves clean to let them shine, like reviewing your finances to keep them clear. Rotate it now and then so it grows evenly, like adjusting your strategy to stay balanced. These small acts reinforce a mindset. You don't have to overhaul everything at once to keep prosperity. You just have to keep tending to it little by little without letting neglect pile up. The best place for a ZZ plant if wealth is your focus. The southeast corner of your main living space or office, an area often associated with growth and opportunity, or right beside the main entrance, where it stands watch over everything that comes and goes. In a business setting, place it near your desk or in the lobby to subtly communicate stability and success. Guests won't consciously think that plant is protecting their prosperity, but they will feel the calm, ordered energy it brings to the space. There's something about the way a ZZ plant grows, each stem rising like a line on a graph, each leaf stacked neatly like coins, that speaks directly to the part of us that craves progress without chaos. It doesn't sprawl or tangle. It builds upward with intention. And when you see new shoots pushing through the soil, it's hard not to draw the parallel. When you create the right conditions, growth will always find its way to the surface. The plant's ease of care also makes it ideal for people with busy lives, those who want to create an environment of prosperity without adding another demanding responsibility. In a fast-paced American lifestyle, where work, family, and obligations can fill every hour, the ZZ plant quietly does its job without complaint, just as a healthy investment works for you in the background while you live your life. The emotional impact of living with a ZZ plant can be subtle at first, then undeniable. You start to notice the space feels full in the best way, not cluttered but grounded. You find yourself pausing as you walk past, maybe even touching a leaf, feeling its strength. These moments anchor you in the belief that stability is possible, that growth is happening even when you're not actively pushing for it. Over time, that belief influences your actions. You might hold onto money longer, make more measured choices, or simply feel less anxious about the future. That's the quiet genius of the ZZ plant. It works on you without making a sound. And while no plant can literally guard your bank account, the way it shapes your environment and mindset can be just as valuable. When you place a ZZ plant in your home, you're not just filling a space. You're declaring that this is a place where good things arrive and stay, where wealth isn't chased but welcomed, where opportunity knows it will be cared for once it enters. That's the role of a true gatekeeper. Not to block everything out, but to make sure only what belongs can cross the threshold. And in a world where so much feels uncertain, having that kind of quiet, constant presence is more than decor. It's a daily investment in the life you want to keep. Part 6, the silent warrior, snake plant. Some plants invite energy in. The snake plant decides what gets to stay. Tall, upright, and edged like a blade, it stands in quiet readiness, guarding your home from whatever you don't want crossing the threshold. This is not a plant that whispers, it holds its ground. In a culture where we worry about what's getting in, whether it's noise, stress, or subtle drains on our resources, the snake plant is like a watchful sentinel, cutting off what doesn't serve you before it can take root. Its leaves, rising straight from the soil, are more than a striking design choice. They form a living wall, a natural barrier that says, "Not here." That's why you'll often find it placed just inside a front door, at the edge of a workspace, or in a bedroom corner where you need the air and the atmosphere clean and steady. In the American home, where pace is fast and distractions are endless, having a plant that not only survives neglect but actively works for you is a rare advantage. The snake plant is an air purifier, pulling toxins out of the space quietly and constantly, the way a trusted friend filters gossip before it ever reaches you. It's low maintenance but high impact. It can thrive in low light, forgive missed waterings, and still hold its posture with the same confidence as the day you brought it home. Caring for it is refreshingly simple, but its effect is anything but. A healthy snake plant changes the way a room feels, more grounded, more stable, less chaotic. That matters because in a home where the environment supports you, your mind is clearer, your focus sharper, and your financial and personal decisions stronger. Place it in the kitchen, and it quietly protects the heart of your home where nourishment begins. Put it beside your bed, and you may find your sleep deepens, your mornings start calmer, and your energy carries further into the day. Position it near your workspace, and the mental fatigue that often creeps in mid-afternoon feels less heavy, leaving you more capable of seeing opportunities clearly and acting on them. The snake plant's upright stance is also a visual affirmation. Every time you glance at it, you're reminded to stand tall in your own life, to set boundaries, to say no when you need to defend the resources and energy you've worked to gather. In a society that rewards constant yes, this plant embodies the power of strategic no. Financially, that mindset is invaluable. Protecting your wealth isn't only about finding new streams of income. It's about keeping it from leaking out through bad deals, draining relationships, or chaotic environments that cloud your judgment. The snake plant becomes a physical metaphor for that vigilance. You don't have to explain it to anyone. The feeling is there in its presence. It's also one of the few plants that continues producing oxygen at night, which makes it an ideal nighttime ally. While you rest, it works, and there's something deeply reassuring about that, knowing you have a living thing in your corner, quietly holding the line while you recharge. That's the kind of energy worth cultivating in every area of life. The plant's resilience is unmatched. It will forgive weeks of inattention, bounce back from less than ideal conditions, and still keep its form. That's the lesson it teaches. You can endure, adapt, and still look composed doing it. In financial terms, that's the equivalent of staying solvent and stable through downturns, market shifts, or personal setbacks. You keep your stance. You don't fold. Integrating a snake plant into your home isn't just a design choice. It's a decision to put a guardian in place. One that works silently, demands little, and gives back constantly. One that shapes the way you feel in your own space, and by extension, how you move in the world outside it. When the air is cleaner, the room calmer, and the boundaries clearer, you make better choices. And better choices, repeated over time, are the foundation of real, lasting wealth. So if you've ever felt like your home needs a little more protection, not just from the obvious, but from the subtle drains you can't quite name, the snake plant may be the most powerful, low-maintenance ally you could bring in. Let it stand guard. Let it be the silent warrior in your corner. And notice how much stronger, safer, and clearer your life feels with it there. We've walked through 6 very different plants, each with its own shape, rhythm, and quiet way of working, and yet they all point to the same truth. A thriving home is not built by accident. Just like wealth, it's cultivated through consistent choices, clear intentions, and an understanding of the environment you create for yourself. The money tree anchors and protects what you've worked for. Lucky bamboo keeps the flow open and flexible. The jade plant grows steadily, teaching patience. The orchid brings balance between material comfort and emotional richness. The ZZ plant stands guard over the energy you allow in, and the snake plant filters out what doesn't belong, ensuring you can rest and rebuild without interference. Together, they create more than just a green corner in your living room. They form an ecosystem of reminders. Every leaf, every new shoot, every moment you pause to water or adjust them is a micro-choice reinforcing the habits that build a strong, prosperous life. This isn't about superstition or magic tricks. It's about the psychology of space and the science of attention. The objects we live with, especially living ones, shape our behavior in ways we often don't notice. A healthy plant in a chosen place is a visual cue. Stay consistent, protect your resources, adapt when needed, and never stop growing. If you treat these plants well, they'll reflect back the same qualities you're practicing: resilience, steadiness, and a quiet but undeniable expansion. And over time, those qualities don't just live in the plants, they live in you. So when you look around your home and see these 6 living allies, know that they are more than decoration. They are your daily living proof that prosperity, real prosperity, isn't just something you chase. It's something you grow, protect, and keep alive.